So, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm really happy to see you here. Welcome to my channel. And today's topic, as you might have seen, will be about how to be the person that everyone wants to talk to. So this topic will have 3 parts. So the first part, this video, and the second part will be another video with another topic in it. Yes, what is the topic for now? I miss this feeling because it was a while since I haven't made this kind of videos when you just talk. Okay, so today I really want to talk about something that's kind of obvious but feels kind of, rare these days. What is this? The art of listening. Being a good listener. Yes, we spend so much time trying to say right thing, trying to sound smart, funny, interesting, impressive, that we nearly forget that the half of the good conversation is not about us. It's not about you. It's not about you. So now here's the main insight that I want you to remember throughout this video and for your later life. Once you really focus on your partner, not yourself, you will be recognized and valued too. I really want to repeat it. Once you really focus on your partner, not yourself, you will be recognized and valued too. There's so many people saying that focus on yourself, focus on yourself, focus on yourself. But people, please pay attention to your environment, to other people. So I think we get the point that we actually tend to, impress others and trying to be better version of ourselves and think of what we are going to say next and everything. Why we're doing this? Why people, like, generally all want to talk about themselves, about their achievements, and impress others? So I think you know this, but I'll say it anyway. So there is only one thing that differentiates us from animals. It's not about food, family, or money, but the feeling of importance and appreciation. Think about it. Really think about it. How many times you wanted to be seen and valued, maybe in front of your parents, classmates, peers, or even take me as an example, like why I'm sitting here and talking on the camera. Right, because I wanted to be heard. My sister is cleaning the house, so don't pay attention. I'm sorry. Everyone on this planet has the same problem as me, the desire to be great. No one wants to be ignored. Ignorance is a sign of unimportance, and we all don't want to be unimportant and plus ignored. Because if you're not valued, your environment, society, your friends, would just leave you, and your brain cannot let it happen because then you will die. The world is developing so fast and our brain is not. So our brain still uses its old-fashioned technique to save us from this. If our ancestors hadn't had this flaming urge for feeling of importance and appreciation, civilizations would have been impossible. Without it, we should have been just like about other animals. So this big desire makes you want to wear the latest styles, drive the latest cars, and talk about your brilliant achievements. So in order to have a really good conversation, first things first, you have to give your companion what he he wants. I'm talking about the feeling of importance. So this, can be given abundantly and it has no end. So you can share it with, millions of people. So just give that feeling to your companion, and you will start to notice big changes in your communication skills. First, you have to be a good listener, to listen, really engage in what your companion says, what kind of words he uses, and generally what he's talking about. To be a good listener is not a thing that is really hard to achieve. You just have to stop your ego, even for once, and really think, do I really have to say that or show up or interrupt like this? And the magic thing here is every good thing that you give away will come back to you 100 times doubled. And that is proven. Guys, I'm not talking about the listener who just sits and in auto mode listens to the speaker. It's not just how it works. So let's talk about how to be a good listener. As I mentioned earlier, listener does not sit and quietly listens to the speaker. It's totally the opposite. He's being active companion and active, part of the conversation. First things first, you really have to figure out what your companion is interested about. Do a little research or observe his sphere, and then when you guys meet, time by time you will ask questions related to his sphere or the sphere he's passionate about, and really let him feel that he's being heard. By doing so, you're also let him feel important. You should be engaged in that topic and really encourage your companion to talk and open up to you. So I'm going to give you several examples. This way is going to be a lot more easier to you to, comprehend this topic. So I'm just going to read it. So first example is the simplest one, I think. Millie Esposito of Croton-on-Hudson, New York, made it her business to listen carefully when one of her children wanted to speak with her. One evening, she was sitting in the kitchen with her son, Robert, and after a brief discussion of something that was on his mind, "Mom, I know that you love me very much." Mr. Esposito was touched and said, "Of course I love you very much. Did you adopt it?" Robert responded, "No, but I really know you love me because whenever I want to talk to you about something, you stop on whatever you're doing and listen to me." So here we can notice that the mom is really, giving, letting his son feel important and valued. So it is really important for children too, because they're just growing and it will eventually influence in their self-esteem, self-confidence, and everything. The second example, it's kind of, longer than the first one. The New York Telephone Company discovered a few years ago that it had to deal with one of the most vicious customers who ever cursed the customer service representative. And he did curse. He raved. He threatened to tear the phone albeit fruits. He refused to pay certain charges that declared were false. He filed innumerable complaints with the Public Service Commission. And he started several suits against the telephone company. At last, one of the company's most skillful troubleshooters was sent to the interview. The troubleshooter listened and let the customer enjoy himself instead of pouring out his tirade. The telephone representative listened and said yes and sympathized with his grievance. He raved on and listened for nearly 3 hours. The troubleshooter said as he related his experience before one of the other's classes. Then I went back and listened some more. I interviewed him for 4 times. And before the 4th visit was over, I had become charter member of the organization. He was starting He called it Telephone Subscribers Protective Association. I'm still a member of this organization. I listened and emphasized with him on every point that he made during these interviews. He had never had telephone representative talk with him that way before, and he became almost friendly. The point on which I went to see him was not even mentioned on the first visit, nor was it mentioned on the second or third. But upon the first interview, I closed the case completely. He paid all his bills in full, and for the first time in the history of difficulties with the telephone company, he voluntarily withdrew his complaints from the Public Service Commission. Doubtless, Mr. had considered himself as a holy crusader, defending the public rights against the color exploitation, but in reality, what he had really wanted was feeling of importance. He got this feeling of importance at first by kicking and complaining, but as soon as he got his feeling of importance from the representative of the company, his imagined greatness vanished into thin air. So the last thing that I really want to say is, don't be afraid that you won't ever gonna be heard or valued. Just because you're a listener doesn't mean you mustn't talk or listen to everybody's problems, rumors, or even negative shit. Just for yourself, to be honest, just for yourself. Learn how to build personal barriers and private spaces. I think you all know why. Without it, you will just do great.